Oh, well, hello everyone. We're live and back on Startup Tuesday, Multifamily Insight. I'm that Kimberly here
With who? Oh,
with
I thought
who?
you were gonna say who you.
My co-host.
It's
She's been out a
Deb.
week. She's
It's
been out a week.
yeah. I traveled for a whole week, and now I have to learn how to be this person again in front of a computer. So it's Deb with One App Guarantee, and I'm really excited about today.
Me too. Me too.
Yes,
Um,
we're gonna bring Brandon Coleman out here today, so I
yes,
am super excited to talk with him. But
me
let's go
too.
over our housekeeping tidbits.
Yeah. Um, so we are live on the Facebook, as I like to call it. That's a joke, people, when I say it, okay? It's supposed to, well, really, it's the meta now,
Yeah.
just so folks know.
Officially,
LinkedIn,
I'm not
yeah,
calling it
officially,
that.
it's if you look at your Instagram account or look at, it'll populate at the bottom, Meta. Mark Zuckerberg announced it, so it's official.
Yep.
Um, so Meta slash Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So wherever you're watching, make sure if you have a question, we want the questions. If you know an answer to the question, we'd love, and because we don't know everything, we're just staying in our lane, sharing that knowledge. But if you know the answer, please put down in the comments. We'd love that answer, as well as hit the subscribe button, the follow, so you know when we're going live. We'll be here every Tuesday, 11:30. And what else? We want to make sure that we're bringing you the most value.
Yes.
So if you want to be on, if you know somebody that should be on, you can email us, and we'll throw up the email address here real fast, just in case people, want to know how they become a guest or recommend a guest or whatever it is. Please, we want to have anyone and everyone that wants to be on. So
We're going to
we're
share the
share.
knowledge. We're going to share the
Inclusive.
knowledge.
Yes, inclusive is the key. So without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest today. Well, he's going to give you his insight,
Mhm.
his introduction, Brandon Coleman. Yay! Hi, Brandon.
Welcome.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good.
We're doing
Give us your little, 30-second self pitch.
6 second, maybe.
I might need 45. I do a couple things. So,
There we go.
hello everyone. My name is Brandon Coleman. I am a senior property management manager with Point Reyes Residential, and
Which I apologize, Brandon, that I missed the point word in the original image. So my bad. I was not using my listening skills.
it's like Team Reyes. What's up? But and I'm also the owner of Cinema Anywhere, where we specialize in audio visual rentals in the Houston, Austin, and Nashville areas.
Yes, it's pretty amazing. So you wear lots of hats.
Too many.
Mhm. Yes. And that's why you're here today.
Yes,
Thank you.
because we need to hear what it's like on both sides
Right.
with those hats.
So how long have you been on property management?
So I've been in property management 15 years now.
Wow. And you're also ex-military, so thank you for your service, right?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
And then you started Cinema Anywhere. What year did you start that?
We started Cinema Anywhere in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Bad, man. So you've already progressed into other markets.
Yes. So,
good markets too. And also there was a 2-year pandemic in that time.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but you know what? I mean, you did a little pivot too. So
Yeah.
you well done, my friend.
We'll talk a little bit
Thank
about that pivot, because it's very key, right? And in everybody's businesses, when certain things happen, not like a pandemic happens every year, or but it's always good when you're, and no matter what startup you are, if you're on the management side or if you're a supplier partner, like what I like to call us, you still have to be able to be flexible. So good for you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to jump into some of the questions that I want to, jump into and know about. So what is it like? What has it been like for you in startup land? like if you could go back to 2018, like what would be some advice or some things that maybe you would probably have, done differently?
One thing I say, I wish I would have done differently is kind of use my resources better. You know, with my business, it's kind of a niche, but even with niches, there are people who have some type of experience with whatever you do because, there's not, at the time, there wasn't a lot of people doing outdoor movie nights, but there are people who know about taxes. There are people who know about marketing like Kimberly that, I've known Kimberly for years where I could have probably sent her a text or a message like, what should I do on Instagram? What type of technology for this? So definitely
you're
2
talking
years
about
ago,
you're talking about resources, meaning your network, right?
your network, because your network ultimately affects your net worth. So
that's true. That's true. And you have a phenomenal network, so you definitely need to utilize it.
What about in your multifamily? What about, because you also been a part of startup on the management side, what would you have done differently?
Honestly, the same answer. Even with a startup part of multifamily, multifamily's been around for centuries. Where being a part of a startup organization, even though you want to bring different practices, different philosophies, but to a certain extent, you're just kind of reinventing the wheel that's already there. So why not utilize your resources or your network to figure out a best practice with your vision applied to it.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, that's really important.
Yeah, I don't think that we're getting better at it. I feel like more and more people are more comfortable with that, sharing knowledge with each other. You don't necessarily have to be good friends with someone, and reaching out to them is the best way to start, whether, it's
the worst thing
LinkedIn.
that can happen is that they can tell you no.
Correct.
Or I've always had really good luck. I've reached out to some folks in this industry that I'm not close to ask, just have a conversation. And it's always been a very pleasant experience and, a new contact for me.
And honestly, sometimes those conversations you have, it may be something that you absolutely never do. But just getting that insight makes you kind of think about it. It's like, I don't agree with that, but thank you. My company won't do that, but it's great to know that people do think like this. So it kind of
yeah, for sure.
There is no bad advice.
So what was one thing that I don't like to call them mistakes, I like to call them experiences and lessons we learn in this world. What was one that you like was one of your biggest hurdles, right? Like
I could say on the management side, there was definitely an incident that happened. I believe we had a fire or a flood, and because we were a newer company, we didn't have those policies and procedures in place where, heaven forbid if I wasn't there, and just having the amount of experience I had, if they had to go find that emergency operations binder, we didn't have that. So
start from the beginning.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's, they call them growing pains for a reason. They're pains as you grow. So immediately after this incident happened, I believe this was like 2014, all the properties end up rolling out their emergency operations binders because, it's a huge liability, especially if something happens after hours or on the weekend.
Oh, yeah. Those are important things that I don't. Well, now they're easier more than ever. There are more companies out there providing those services, but there are companies that will give you templates that now, one on the multifamily side is Grace Hill. I know has those types of procedures and templates because they purchase Strategic Solutions. Shout out to Kendall Pretzert, and her team. But then ADP was one when we were in business, also provided HR policy, human resource type of things, and that you could insert your own information into. So, but I just, I know it was hard. That's a hard thing to do. So.
Yeah. What kind of do you have any like aha resources that, helped you tremendously as a startup?
as far as a management company, and I think a lot of people don't utilize it. The Texas Apartment Association's website has a lot of information.
Mm.
Just in my experience, at one point, I'm kind of old school where I would just kind of rattle off the first pages of the lease, what's important, where, one of the biggest things that I remember is TAA has a whole link that explains the entire lease agreement. And
They have a video.
The video where a resident can understand what they're signing versus lease start, lease end, my rent is this, my deposit's that, sign. So there's a wealth of knowledge. A lot of people just have to kind of do your research, and it's not hard to get the information.
I'm learning a lot of new things going through this whole with Kimberly and talking to the different startups and seeing how many like outside resources that are not even related to our industry that I'm just like, what, that exists? Like, because in my mind, I'm like, I've got to go get a lawyer and I've got to go like pay, a big CPA firm to take on my new, and in reality, it's like you can do it and I could do it. And I didn't know. Now I do. So there's so many freaking resources out there. It's amazing.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you still are working both sides of the industry, which I think puts you in a super unique position because you really do get to play both sides of the fence. And I love it. And I'm jealous. So
I commend you. I
commend you. I know. Yeah. When it comes to like, I mean, how do you feel about the supplier partners out there now that you're on that side of it too? Like what has been eye-opening to you?
So, and I think it's amazing. I just got to tip my hat because the amount of rejection I have been exposed to as a supplier partner is eye-opening, where just in being on the management side, I have a whole new respect for when a supplier partner is dealing with me, because they have no idea how often you guys get ignored. Those phone calls don't get answered, emails for sure, where I try to put extra effort and making sure I'm taking care of my supplier partners. And I highly recommend most operators on the management side. Respect goes both ways, because at any given time you'll call that supplier partner on a Saturday night because you need something like this and you need that quote like this. So, like I say, be respectful, and if you're busy,
put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, for sure.
I know it's so funny. I love that you have this perspective. So
for sure. No,
but I mean, also look at the gains you've made from that rejection. Because it's like if you're going to be in sales, you've got to like toughen up, and you have to like take it. And,
tough skin.
You got to keep trucking along. So
for sure.
For every 100 no's, there's probably one yes, if not. That's even a low end.
Yeah,
right?
I would say probably 200 no.
Okay, good. I always told people it took us a whole year to close our first deal, but that was 15 years ago and pre-internet, right? That was just email and phone calls. But I want to commend your company that you work by day, Point Reyes Residential, for allowing you to have something to that you can do at night and on the weekends, because it's both of your passions. Doesn't just because we work by day at something doesn't mean that we can't be passionate about it and have something else to want to do at night as well, right? Like you got children to support, and children are expensive.
Yes, they are.
So, I tell people all the time.
So I was going to say, like, I know, like, you probably more than anyone now understands the value of like a strong association.
For sure.
Especially as a supplier. So like, it amazes me when startups come in and they are just, they're not connected anywhere. And then they wonder like,
or they don't try.
Hard.
Yeah.
And yes, so I think that like you can probably speak to the value of like Texas has like really strong associations local to state. And that's probably been very valuable for you.
For sure. It's been valuable for my other franchisees as well. I'll never forget in Austin, I encouraged Jay in Austin. It was like, hey, you need to go to this next gen meeting. I've been a part of Deb, we've been a part of Next. Well, I've been a part of Next for like 10 years now.
Yeah, you're too old now.
There's no age bracket on that.
Stop it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? But I encouraged him to go to that next gen meeting in Austin, and he got a booking like that first, and it was the chair of the next gen committee where that just started his association involvement, and he got a booking within an hour. So it's priceless.
Now he's all in, right?
Yep,
all in.
Yeah, you have to. People, I mean, marketing, when you build a business, whether it's a building, an apartment community, or you build a business for a consumer, whatever, it doesn't matter if you're a supplier partner. It's not build it and they will come. You must build it and market it, right? Marketing that includes networking and associations, and includes your time on social media and or someone creating that stuff. It's very important. And
let's touch on marketing real quick, because small business startup, you don't have money in the beginning, so you definitely don't have thousands of dollars to throw in the marketing bucket. So what was like the most successful tools that worked for you and helped you get your business running?
There were low income, low or basic free, low priced.
My mouth, talking to people, especially being a startup business owner, in the beginnings, no one can sell your business like you. So you, at any given time, I would bring up Cinema Anywhere. You can bring up, Starbucks and your dragon fruit tea, and all of a sudden I was like, it probably is better if you're watching a movie outdoors. Let me tell you about Cinema Anywhere. So, word of mouth is free, and getting someone to like you, it shouldn't be that hard of a task, especially if you're passionate about your business, because most people respect that. So word of mouth is free, messaging someone on Facebook or LinkedIn or, Instagram. I would say Instagram. I started off with 1 follower on Instagram, and now I have about 24,000 followers on Instagram.
You, man.
Where, and I remember some people that I messaged 2 years ago about Cinema Anywhere are just now saying, hey, I'm interested in a movie night. So it's the work that you put in that people won't see, or you won't see the result until later, 2 years later.
Yeah. Being nice and being kind to people, having a conversation,
without a doubt,
it takes no effort, right? But it will come to you twofolds, and it's definitely something. The $1.80 marketing strategy. Gary Vee has something about Instagram that if you just go message 100 people about your business a day, DM them. Of course, LinkedIn and they're all the same, but yeah. It's your time, but you're passionate about it. You doing it, right?
It's not work.
What's going to happen? Yeah. Or lunches and coffees, or going to other, do you do any other associational stuff that's outside of multifamily?
Outside of multifamily, I am about to join the Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce, because they want to use me as a vendor. So, I do silent
supplier partner.
Yes. Supplier partners.
I'm trying to change that word for it to go away. I'm sorry.
Well, I saw the word complex in an email yesterday.
See?
And it really did bother me.
Okay.
Maybe the community is complex.
Yeah. It is.
They must be a new supplier partner to multifamily if they're using
For
the word
sure.
complex. That's what I always took.
I
back
know.
to.
I just have to bite my tongue.
No, you should. I mean, nicely.
Let me get to know them first before I correct them. I mean, you know.
Would you
PSC officer them and say, "Hey, supplier partner,
yeah.
this is best practice."
Wow, I just got put on the spot.
Well, would you want somebody to let you walk down the street with a booger up your nose? That's the way I look at it.
Okay,
Like,
true.
I'm going to tell somebody that even if I don't know them, hey, your shirt tag is hanging out. You know how many women I go up to an airport or in the restaurant and I go, I know you don't know me, and I do it real gently, but such and such is sticking out, and then they hit their friends like, why didn't you tell me I'm walking around with whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's your
thing. So,
yeah,
Brandon, what's next for Cinema Anywhere? What's your game? Yeah, tell us.
So,
what we got.
The biggest thing I want to do is, as a startup and as an owner, I want to stop physically doing the events as much as I do. So one thing that I am working on now to set me up for the future is my policies and procedures, and making videos where kind of like a best practice standard. Hey, I just hired you. You have an event Friday. Here's this Dropbox. Everything you need to know.
OMG! I totally need to talk offline. I got something for you.
Great. No, so one of my biggest things is being at home or spending more time with my family, but making my business grow, because I can't physically work, be exhausted, and then go to work and then still push my business. So
we're gonna see Cinema Anywhere across the nation.
The plan is hopefully I have about 3 to 5 new locations and markets the first quarter of next year.
Okay. All franchises?
Yes.
Okay.
Rock on, man.
Awesome.
I know, like, we've been friends for several years, and I've been your supplier partner, and now you're my supplier partner friend.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I know, but I am so proud of you and what you've done with this. Like, you're killing it. Like, and I think it inspires me. So, and I'm immensely proud of you. So,
thank you
100%. Can you share a little bit about how you pivoted, and with what product you pivoted during the pandemic, and maybe something that you could relate it to also on the management side that you did as well?
So definitely with Cinema Anywhere. I'm glad we started in 2019. So when the pandemic hit, there was some shortages of supplies, things of every nature. There was no supplies. People didn't know what to do. There was just this whole period of uncertainty. People were uncertain what the future would hold. So especially with my clients mainly being apartment communities. So I just kind of, hey, I've always been here. I kind of told you can still have resident events. They're outdoors. They're in your pool area. So why don't you use me?
So you're still creating community on site.
Yes. So at one point, all these communities was trying to do these come up with online events where I was like, well, just take it outside.
Right.
You can social distance in your pool area. Some people have the biggest parking lots and green spaces where, hey, just tell your residents come watch a movie.
Love that. That's so cool that you did that.
I'm going to share this. So when had you always had these? Had you always had the headsets?
Yes. So, and that was, thank you, Sean Calloway and Ryan Weiss, for our Ambassador One meetings. We decided to go with another location for this year, which was Kirby Ice House, where they thought about me because I do silent movie nights.
That's amazing.
And it was just a simple question like, hey, do you have microphones and can you do a silent meeting? And I was like, yeah. So this year, every Ambassador One meeting, I help facilitate it. So it's definitely been a blessing and an honor because I would normally be there anyway. So
Yeah.
if I can help facilitate the meeting, that's awesome. So thank you, HAA and the Ambassador One team.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, it's been like a real lifesaver too for that location. So it's worked out perfectly.
What about on the management side? What do you think that you all did with you and your team?
Yeah, what'd you do on site?
So on site, I would say we had to put a heavier emphasis on, for one, empathy, because you don't know what's going on in that household just because we didn't know. So one thing I did push with all the teams is, hey, you need to, show empathy more than ever and have that customer service and understand, hey, we're all going through a pandemic and you don't know what that resident's going through. At one point, people were losing family members. Schools, there's another stress level of being just at home. Just the amount of work orders and service requests that we received, I think they went up like 300 to 400% because at any given time, there's this hole that's been there for 2 years, but I see it now because I'm on this Zoom meeting. I'm on this Zoom meeting, and all of a sudden, I know there's 448 dots right there.
I didn't even think about that from a maintenance perspective.
Yeah.
So, just preparing your teams, making better relationships with your supplier partners, because, that supplier partner you've been using forever may not have anything where, here's Brandon with, maintenance supply this that has everything that's been, sitting on the shelves for 3 years. So, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, didn't do so well during the pandemic, but other people thrived, just because of those new relationships that were formed.
Yeah, absolutely. And being aware of those and being conscious to your surroundings and the people that you're interacting with every day. Good for you for having that conversation with your team, for sure.
Yes.
It makes it. How did you real quick, how did you keep your team, the culture of your team? How did you keep them going? How did you, give them that empathy as well, or give them that support?
Just being open-minded with search situations. The ultimate goal is to take care of the residents, but your employees are number one. They're pretty much what makes the residents satisfied. That's who makes your owner happy. So, just keeping open lines of communication. The expectation never changes, but you have to understand the situations, especially, employees with kids. Some employees have grandkids. So everybody had to adapt to,
like
the unknown.
That they didn't plan for. So
for sure.
I think that's very interesting.
Well, we have I want to real quick just thank you to Doug. You left us.
Hey, Doug, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, for his comment.
Network is network.
Yeah. I wanted to throw that up there.
But he said asking for help is tough. And it is sometimes, because you just, you don't want to feel like you're that needy person, but we do need to lean on our network more.
Yeah, for sure.
Not be afraid of that.
100%. So how can people, just because we want to be mindful of everybody's time, we try to keep these in that 30-minute mark. How can people connect with you, both, whether it's, of course, on LinkedIn, right? But for Cinema Anywhere?
So for Cinema Anywhere, you can always follow my Instagram, which is Cinema Anywhere Houston. If you're in the Austin area, Cinema Anywhere Austin, and then Cinema Anywhere Nashville. Far as management side, my work email is brandonc@zocololiving.com. 4 Point Reyes.
Yeah, I've been pronouncing that property name wrong this entire time too. So
I do too.
A very insightful half hour today. Yeah.
Hey, well, at least you didn't post something with an image to leaving off one of the words. So
good point.
Whoops. We're all human, we make mistakes.
Responsibility.
That's funny. Well,
it happens.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brandon, for your time today. And
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
We appreciate you very much, and we look forward to much more success and all the other franchises that you'll be bringing out into the world for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Brandon.
I'll see y'all soon.
Bye. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was very insightful. I love you
Yes.
from Brandon.
Love it, love it, love it. Great insight from a new young entrepreneur. I love it.
Yeah.
And he's doing his thing and he's killing it. And I'm so excited. So
yeah, me too.
But, yep. Now go to make sure that if you are watching this, hashtag
I put them up there. Put hashtag and where you're watching it from, right? I also included our new it's Deb's hashtag. We're gonna get Deb to be using a hashtag now. Yay! And we'll even probably have to have a little one of these days an episode on why we use hashtags in search. But anyways, so yes, leave a comment. If you have a question, leave it. We'll get back to you. If you want to be on the show again, I'm gonna throw that up. You know somebody, please email either one of us, Kimberly at Marketing or Deb at oneappguarantee.com. Either one. We'd love to have you on. And we are here every Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be, Deb?
Oh, our Stephanie Graves.
Oh, yes. Stephanie Graves. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm excited about next Tuesday. I was like, wait, what's next Tuesday? And then, rabbit hole.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. That's okay. It happens. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on another Startup Tuesday with Multifamily Insight. And until next week, have a great week and weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, guys. See ya. Hold on, ending. I don't think it's going to let us end. Hold on. I'm trying. Well, I'm just going to close out. Bye, guys.
Bye.